How's it going, guys? Appreciate y'all tuning in as always. So I've been in this house for a little over a year, and it's time to descale my tankless water heater. So got a scaling kit, some solution. We'll get right on into it. Alright, so this is the first house I've ever owned with a tankless water heater. I normally have the traditional water heater type with a tank. So what I've read online with home ownership is you want to try to descale these units, even with the tank ones, every year. And they sell kits with that, so we'll look at that here in a second. But that kind of takes that sediment out of the pipes, because what ends up happening is that the system can't heat the pipe up efficiently. And then if you start getting like some beeping noises, or the water kind of shuts off while you're in the middle of showering, and it says, okay, you're not getting that hot water, you're getting cold water, and you're just, you're like, what's going on? That is most likely your culprit. So every year, try to descale it. Once you buy the kit, all you have to do is buy the solution afterwards. So let's take a look at that real quick, and then we'll start servicing this unit. All right, so there's a lot of different styles online. Just pick, as far as the kits go, just pick whatever fits your budget and your needs or whatever. They're pretty much all similar. They all come with a pump, a bucket, 2 hoses to connect to your service valves, and then and maybe some adapters. But as far as solutions go, I went with the Haymaker. There's a ton of solutions out there, and there's also people that use vinegar if you want to go the cheaper option. But the only problem with the vinegar is that it's just going to take a little bit longer to break down from what I've seen online. Okay, now if you use vinegar before and you want to use that, that's fine. As far as solutions go, this is going to be my first time doing it. I've read this one has the best reviews in terms of all of them, so this is why I went with this one. Now this one comes with 32 fluid ounces. It does call to mix it with a gallon of water, so we'll get a gallon of water into the bucket, we'll pour the solution in, and let's get right on into it. Alright, let's get the contents out of there. Now, as far as this brand goes, there is the model number sub 1500 kit 01, contains 1/4 horsepower utility pump, 2 PVC hoses, a 3-gallon bucket, a lid opener, plastic adapter, and instruction manuals. I'm just reading right off the top. There's the instruction manual right there. We don't need that, right? Pretty cool. I never knew they had this tool. Alright. Good packaging. So it comes with red and blue hoses. That way you can mark the colors. Your adapter fittings. The actual pump itself. So you can't service it without a pump, because basically what the pump does is once you put it on the cold side, it's going to push that fluid and that solution through the unit back out the hot side. Okay, so that's why you're going to need to open both sides up. So you need a pump. If you just get a bucket and some hoses and stick it on there, it's not going to do nothing. Alright, okay, so let's go get a gallon of water. Alright, so there's going to be a few things we're going to do in preparation before we start everything else. Okay, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the unit itself. Alright, so power is off right now, and then whether you can do it by hands or with a pair of pliers, whatever, we are going to turn the water off to both sides. Okay, so basically turn it horizontal. That ball valve in there will keep the water from coming in. So again, both sides. Okay, alright. And then you're going to turn your gas off. Again, so I'll give it a close up here real quick. So gas is turned off. Water valves on both the cold and the hot side are turned off. So basically the water supply, and then the power to the unit is actually off as well too. All right, so now we're gonna take these caps off, and then we're gonna plug our hoses in. All right, so your hoses should come with some O-rings or washers. They'll go into these fittings here. Make sure you put them on there, because if not, it'll be spraying out water everywhere. Okay, once you put them on. So basically, they'll look like this. You just press them in there, all the way down. It'll give a nice tight seal, so when you connect it to your connection points, it won't leak water. All right, so we're gonna do the first one. So make sure these valves are closed off still. All right, and then on your cold side hose, get another rubber washer in there, or seal. Get it placed in there. And then you're gonna need your adapter most likely. And these come with sealed as well. Okay. Get that rubber, let me call them seals, rubber O-rings. Okay. Get it placed onto there. Make sure it's nice and snug. Just hand tighten it. And then you're going to connect the cold side. Alright. Now as far as the red hot water hose, now some of these kits come with black hoses just for both sides. So just the hot side, you're just going to place straight into the bucket. So now, this tag off of there. You can essentially set the bucket down. Alright, so basically what's going to happen is the pump is going to pump the solution through on the cold side, and on the hot side the red hose is going to pump right back into the... Alright, sorry about that. I didn't realize my battery was running low. So anyways, so I've got the connections. Now before we plug it in, I've already filled the... Alright, so I've already filled the water with the bucket with 1 gallon of water. Now we're going to pour the solution in there. Put this Haymaker stuff in there. So I've kind of got the red hose going through the handle, so that way it faces straight down. Okay, like I said, it's going to circulate the stuff in there, so we're going to pour all 2 ounces into there. So this is citric based, non-corrosive. Okay. There's also similar solutions if you have like water heaters inside the house, you know, to cook and boil water and stuff. They've got similar solutions. Don't buy this one, but they've got some that are safe for that type of use. All right, so now we're gonna. All right, so open both valves up on the service connections. So that side's open, and that side is open now. These bottom ones stay horizontal from the water supplies. Leave those closed. We'll leave these open so that way you can clean them up. All right, now we'll plug the unit in, and we'll let it run for an hour. There you go. You can see it coming back out. And that water is going to get dirty over time from that sediment. But again, we'll let it run for 45 minutes or so. Last thing we're gonna do is get this filter. Get you a pair of pliers. Close that off. All right, then you pull the filter out. This one's not too bad at all. So that solution ran through it and actually cleaned it out pretty good. So we'll put that back in. All right, so for whatever reason, my camera audio cut off. So for the rest of the video that I was recording. So basically, I think we stopped at cleaning out this inline water filter. So basically, you took that off, and inside there's a little filter that you pull out. You can use a pick right there, pull it out, clean it, put it back in, hand tighten this up, snug it up. Okay, don't over tighten it because it's just plastic threads. You don't want to ruin that, and it'll end up leaking anyways. Okay, so we've already ran the solution through. Basically, everything in reverse. Take off your hoses. Put the caps back on. Make sure there's a little rubber seal in there. So do that for both sides. Make sure it's snug as well. You can put a pair of pliers on this and kind of snug it down, but don't over tighten them again. Okay, it's just brass. And then once you get those on, you can turn your water valves back on for your supply lines for the cold and the hot. So that way you can go up and then come back out and feed into the house. Once you get that done, you check all your connections. Okay. Once you turn this one back on, you should be able to see if there's any leaks. It shouldn't be. Okay. And then once that is okay, you'll come over here. You'll turn your gas back on. Make sure that's all right. And then you can plug that up. But I would recommend first, before turning the gas, and then plugging the unit back up, go outside and check the vent. Make sure there's no obstructions in there. So I'll show that in the next clip here in a second. And then so as you can see, mine vents to the outside, so we'll go up there and inspect it. Flashlight. It looks to be clear. If that's okay, turn your gas, plug it back up, and you should be good in terms of your water heater. So everything should be nice and running smoothly. So again, this is the 6699 tankless water heater descaler kit. This is what I used. A good investment. I would recommend just picking one of these up, so that way you can service your unit every year as recommended. Or if you ever notice that your water heater is not heating up quick enough, or it's not staying on long enough, that is normally your problem. And if you want to, extend the life of these units, always service them. It's kind of like changing oil on your car, right? So you want to service them so that way there's not all that buildup in there. But anyways, hope this helps y'all. Y'all take care. And then one last note, if you want to clean this pump out, all you got to do is take out these 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll pull the cover off, and then you can just kind of wipe down, clean off any sediment that's built up onto there, and then that's it pretty much. So yeah. Now I know they sell inline filters that you probably add to this and then to connect to your hose, kind of like the ones they use for RVs maybe, or something, to pump the solution. I don't know if that'll affect the performance of it, but there is no filter from what I saw online in the instructions in the unit itself. So it's just pumping the straight fluid through there with the Descaler solution. So if y'all were curious about that.